All right. Hey, Sarah, is that Sarah the one that won? Yes, Sarah. Hey, Sarah. She's the one that won the giveaway. Yay, you're on. Amazing. Oh, that's amazing. All right. Welcome you guys to day 8 of this 30-day TikTok series where every single day for 30 days, I share with you how to stop binge eating. If you've not yet watched day 1 to day 7, go on my profile. You're going to see all the different tools that I've already shared with you there. But for day 8, what I want to share with you guys today is being seated. I have to catch up. Yes, yes, yes. Being seated while you're eating. Drop a me in the chat if you're guilty of standing up while you're eating. Let me know, drop a me in the chat if you're like, oh shit, I tend to stand up when I'm eating. When you are standing up, there is literally no way you can be present. There's no way you can be in tune with your hunger and fullness. There's no way you can be in tune with your intuition. There's no way you can extract pleasure and satisfaction. There's literally no way. When I used to, and especially when you're binging, right? Like when I used to binge, thank you, Sarah, for sharing the live. I love it. When I used to binge, I literally would be standing up in front of my kitchen counter, going through this out of body experience, like hand in the bag, hand in the mouth, hand in the bag, hand in the mouth. Autopilot mode. How can you be present? How can you even taste the food if you're standing up and you're just in autopilot? It's literally impossible. And when you're struggling with your relationship with food, it is so challenging already to probably feel hunger and fullness. I know for a lot of my clients, and let me know if this is true for you in the chat, it's a lot easier to notice hunger than it is fullness. And it's even easier to honor hunger than it is fullness, right? Like you might say, okay, I know I'm full, but like I'm just going to keep on eating, right? So when you're in autopilot mode, you're not checking in with your body. You're just like, one more bite, one more bite, one more bite, one more bite. You don't even know if the food tastes good because you can't even taste it. Right? You can't even taste the food when you're standing up. Thanks, Winter Lady, for sharing the live. I so appreciate you. So instead of standing up and being in autopilot mode, I want you to sit your booty down while you're eating. This goes for snacks and this goes for meals. This is not a forever thing. This is not like 20 years from now, you can't be standing up. Like I'm at this point now where I could literally be listening to music. I can be having a conversation with my husband. I can be listening to a podcast. I can be watching TV. I can be driving all at the same time. It's not safe, and I do not recommend that. It's not even possible. But I can still be very in tune with my body. But a few years ago, that wasn't the case. So there's things on your journey that you're going to have to do temporarily. This isn't a forever thing. But the more that you can actually sit down, you can be more present with your food. You can ask yourself questions. Do I even like this food? What does it taste like? What's the texture? What's the flavor? Am I enjoying it? Because how often when you're standing up and you're in autopilot, and because you're not even tasting the food, you're like, I actually didn't even need all that. Like, why did I even eat that? Like, it didn't even taste good. Like, sure, the first few bites tasted amazing, but then you weren't actually wanting the food. You were wanting what the food gave you, the high feeling. I remember feeling like I was getting high when I was binging. I was like entering this different world, and like the whole world around me stopped. And I was in like my own little zone. And that's what you're actually like craving. That's what you're wanting. Yeah, totally like a high. And so we want to prevent getting high, okay? We want to prevent getting high. We want to prevent eating super fast. And when you're seated, you can be more present. When you're seated, you can put your utensils down. When you're seated, you can ask yourself questions. When you're seated, you can plant your feet and feel your feet on the floor. You can feel your back against the chair. You can feel your sit bones on the floor. You can be more present. When you're standing up, you're mentally checked out. Now, another thing that goes with being seated when you're eating your meals is you need to slow down. So when you're standing up, it's fast, especially if you're doing this in secret. Hurry up before somebody walks in. I kid you not. I remember, I'm actually at my parents' house right now, which is crazy because this is where all of my binging happened, which is wild. And now it's like 4 years binge free. And I actually, my mom, I had a dentist appointment and I just came back home and my mom said, I made chocolate chip muffins. And I was like, yes, I had chocolate chip muffins. I had these like 2 little dessert things. I had another like square thing. And it's just like the most freeing thing in the world, you guys, when you just have freedom. Like it's actually the best feeling. Like I would have been so mad if my mom baked something and I'm like, I just had a dentist appointment. Like I just came here for a dentist appointment. Like, why did you need to bake? And I would have like blamed my mom, which is like the stupidest thing because like that's not her fault that I had a poor relationship with food, you know? Anyways, I had the most amazing chocolate chip muffin. It was so good. Now I'm all fueled for this live. But anyways, what I was trying to say was I remember being in this house 5 years ago, eating cereal from the box. I would have cereal with milk, but I would also eat cereal straight from the box. I would be standing up in front of my pantry, grabbing handfuls as if this cereal was going out of style, grabbing handfuls and just shoving it in my mouth. And like, I wouldn't even have freaking swallowed a bite and I was on to the next one, on to the next one. And I would do this with so many different foods. I would eat dry cereal with protein bars, what other things, like anything I can find. I would just always be standing up. And that's very typical when you're binging, to be standing up because you're in a frantic state. And again, oftentimes you're binging when you're alone. How many of you guys binge when you're alone? Drop a yes in the chat if you can relate. You're like, yeah, all my binges are when I'm alone. Because there's just so much like secrecy around it. There's so much shame and embarrassment. And all my binging used to be when I was, in secret. And so there's like, hurry up. So you're not gonna have the house to yourself and okay, I'm gonna plate my food and I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna put my food on a plate. You don't do that when you're in binge mode. When you're in binge mode, you're like, okay, I got 20 minutes. My partner just left the house and he typically takes 20 minutes. I know you guys. You know when your partner is going to be home. Like, you know when your partner is going to get home. You're like, all right, he literally just left the freaking driveway. It's go time. And so then you're like, okay, I got 20 minutes. Hurry up. You're not going to sit down and plate your food, but this will be a game changer. Now, I want you to do this for all of your meals because if you do this regularly, it's going to be part of your norm. I am not saying only do this when you have a binge because you're not going to want to sit down. But what I'm saying is if the majority of your meals, and you're just used to being seated when you have a snack, when you have a meal, that's just your new norm. That's your new norm. I get it. When the urge to binge comes on, you don't want to do anything except just get high and binge. So if you do this when you're not even binging and you're just having a regular snack, you're having a regular meal, sit down and be present. You're going to be so much more in tune with your body. You're going to notice what the food tastes like, what if you're actually enjoying it, what are the textures, what are the flavors, right? You're going to be so much more in tune with your body. So drop a yes in the chat if you're going to commit to this. You're like, yes, I'm going to sit down at my meals. And again, this is not a forever thing. So, and this is, I want you guys to get excited because there are certain specific tools that you need to do to stop your binge eating, but you're not going to have to do this for a really, really long time. It's just a short period of time to reconnect to yourself, to reconnect to your body, to help you become less impulsive with food. And if you can do this, again, because you're going to be more in tune with your body, it's going to be easier for you to stop when you're full. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys for day 8, being seated at your meals. And I'm talking your snacks too. Like, I don't even care if you're having a freaking banana. Sit your bum down. Don't be like rushing around like a chicken with your head cut off. Like, sit down. Don't be driving while you're eating. Don't be, distracted. Like, sit down. Sit down so you can actually be present with your meals. And like I said, this is going to make it so much easier for you guys to be able to stop eating when you're full and actually like feel fullness. Because again, when you're standing up, you don't feel fullness. Like, or you feel fullness and you're like, keep going. Madison says, how do you rewire your brain? Madison, if you actually listened to my latest podcast episode, I think it was my latest podcast episode. You can listen to today's podcast episode. I talk a lot about this in the Ditch Decade Diets podcast, so you can definitely go ahead and listen to the podcast. I would listen to today's episode because today I talk about how to specifically rewire your brain. But hey, Rebecca! Oh my gosh, Rebecca! It's so good to see you. Oh my God, my old client. Hi, Rebecca. What was I gonna say? So rewiring your brain, in short, like you need to practice not giving into your binge urges, because every single time you feel the urge to binge and you don't give in, you are weakening the neural pathways in your brain. You're making your urges less and less and less intense. So you feel the urge to binge and you don't give in, the next urge is gonna be easier to not give in. And then the next urge, you practice not giving in, and then the next urge is gonna become easier to not give in. And you keep doing that, and then eventually you don't feel the urge to binge. Like, that's in short. But this is how you rewire your brain, because how you started binging in the first place was by continuing to act on your urges. And then just like any habit, like when you make your bed, now you can make your bed and not even think about it. And that's a habit. It's a good habit. Now you don't even have to think about it. So that's a good habit. But when it comes to binging, now you don't even think about it and you just do it. And it's not such a good habit. But that's what happens. You do something over and over and over again, like making your bed, brushing your teeth, right? Those things you want to make on autopilot because it makes your life easier. You don't have to think twice. How do I make my bed? How do I drive to work? You just go. But when it comes to binging, you need to break that pattern. We got to create that pattern interrupt by not continuing to bye, Sarah, and congrats again on winning the giveaway. I'm so happy you won. Definitely check your email. Oh, you're so welcome. Let me know how you enjoy the master classes. It's gonna literally change your life. I'm so excited. So this is day 8, you guys. So I just shared that Sarah won the free masterclass bundle. So how to enter the giveaway is you need to just leave a rating and a review on the Ditch Decade Diets podcast, and then message me the screenshot and say, I've done it. And I'm going to choose 2 more winners this week. So last week, Sarah won and Leah won. I already messaged them. And then this week, 2 more people will win. So go ahead and do that to be entered into the giveaway to win a free masterclass with me. And stay tuned. Keep showing up to these 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time daily lives where I share a specific tool with you to help you stop binge eating. So thank you guys so much for being here. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.